Brittany Robinson disappeared when she was 14 years old in 2012. Her father was arrested in 2024 and charged with her murder. The trial has ended, so we are here for the update. This is Hold My Sweet Tea. Hello, I'm Pearl.
And I'm Holly. All right, stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I am funny, but if you haven't listened to episode 27, stop, drop. All right, I'm done.
Open up shop.
Open up shop.
Oh.
Go listen to episode 27. Because we are doing an update on
Brittany Robinson.
There we go.
Yes, that is happening now. So, yeah, if you haven't listened, you need to go listen now so that you can make sure you know what happened to begin with.
Yes. And if you already know what happened and you're like, girl, I know, and I'm listening for this update, this one's going to be a good one.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we'll do a slight recap, but it's not going to be very detailed. Exactly. So it's important to go listen.
So buckle up, Buttercup.
So rough today.
I know. I'm tired.
I thought you were just going to say, that's how Rough Riders roll.
That's how Rough Riders roll. We're in a rappy sort of mood.
I don't know what's going on today.
Little digital underground.
We're crazy and all over the place. But, that's why y'all like us, right?
That's right.
Because we're crazy and all over the place.
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so updatey time, huh?
Yeah, let's jump into it.
All right, so as I said before, Brittany Robinson was last seen on June 14th, 2012. She was 14 years old, visiting with her dad, kind of a reconnect visit because she hadn't seen him in a really long time. What is that?
It's the thunder. It's thundering outside. It's looking pretty rough.
Yeah, so hopefully we can get through this without too much craziness.
Or losing electricity.
Yeah, kind of need that.
Yeah.
A little bit. I don't know. My laptop has like half battery. So yeah, we better...
All right, let's get through it.
We better roll on. Anyway, as I said, she's visiting her dad, Demetric Hooper, in Mobile, Alabama. The visit was only supposed to last for 2 days, but 13 years later, still no sign of Brittany. They still have not found a body. Despite going to trial, no body recovered.
Oh, wow.
Just want to point that out right up front.
And she was so excited to go spend time with her dad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she almost left without telling her mom she loved her.
Yeah.
Had to turn around, run back in the house. So, she just was so excited. As we all know from episode 27, that you should have listened to.
Right, because if you're still listening, again,
go back.
Go back.
It appears that Hooper left Mobile pretty quickly after Brittany was reported missing by her mom. There was a funny little statement I saw that even after she was missing, he had actually texted her mom asking if Brittany had watched an episode of some show that they had watched together, I guess, while she was visiting.
Oh, weird.
And I'm going, why did he do that?
Right.
So crazy. Anyway, he was found at the mental health facility in Arkansas, and that was in September. And he was allegedly getting treatment for schizophrenia. there's like a trail of jail stays for numerous different things and other mental health facility check-ins and all that jazz that we talked about in episode 27. Like, he had been in and out of jail.
Yeah.
And all that. So obviously, Hooper was suffering with different mental health issues like way before his daughter had disappeared. But it's still, a current thing.
But he was unmedicated for most of it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which I think is part of the reason why she wasn't seeing very much of him, is like his mental state and stuff. But, they felt like he was doing pretty good.
Right.
So let's give him a chance. Let's give her a chance, because she's obviously wanted to be able to see him.
Yeah, of course.
Back in episode 27, we talked about how an arrest warrant was issued for Hooper 6 weeks after Brittany went missing. And obviously, when they went to go get him from Arkansas, there was no Brittany. But he was charged with felony custodial interference, which he pled guilty to. Upon his arrest, they found knives, rope, his daughter's pink iPod. He insisted he wasn't involved in her disappearance. Then he still states he's not involved in anything.
Well, he had also said that he didn't. He was like, she wasn't even here.
Yeah, I mean, there was a whole bunch of weird little statements where
I think that's his schizophrenia, like, popping in and out.
Correct. Like, it has to be. There's no other explanation. So, I mean, he was sentenced to 10 years for that custodial interference charge, but he literally was released from jail 2 years later.
Ugh.
I was like, what? Like, why would you do that? So there was actually a petition started by Brittany's mother appealing to Governor Robert Bentley to not release Hooper early. Obviously, it didn't make a difference.
Right.
It's on change.org still, so you can go read it if you want. There's the link is in the show notes down in source material, so that'll be something you can check out if you'd like. But Brittany's mother stated that she felt this was parental kidnapping and not just an interference with custody. So she argued that the fact that he has never uttered a word about where she is or what happened to her, and has remained completely silent on the subject of his daughter in general, that something more needs to be done.
Oh, absolutely, because it's still under kidnapping. Because
she's been gone 13 years.
She was in your care. Where is she?
Yes, exactly. Like, and he's done nothing to try to find her or anything else, which is just crazy to me because I'm like, she's missing. Now, mind you, he's continued his path of let me go to jail, let me be in mental facilities, whatever. And
then back out on the streets.
Yeah. And then back in somewhere else. So it's not.
But let's let him out early. It's fine. No, it's not. And that's the whole issue.
It's absolutely
with the justice system.
Not fine. And, that's why when we talked about the current case where that guy is like still being looked for at this moment.
Yeah.
When you said, is it actually kidnapping since he is a parent? But yes, it is, because it's a violation of the custody agreement, for one. So it starts out as interference with custody, but it doesn't remain that way when they've been gone for several days.
Yeah.
So it turned into kidnapping, which turned into murder. And, I don't see how this played out the way it did. So,
right.
Like I said, through the cold case investigation that was being handled way back when, they felt like they had obtained enough evidence to present the case to a grand jury in Mobile County in February of 2024, which is when they returned an indictment for murder.
Okay.
So that's when they were like, hey, we're going to go arrest Hooper. So he's actually in jail in Oklahoma City when this indictment comes down. So they have to extradite him from Oklahoma back to Mobile.
So he just can't stay out of jail, but
No.
you let him out early.
And apparently, like, they don't say what the charges in Oklahoma were, but they're unrelated felony charges.
Oh my gosh.
So he's sitting in Oklahoma in jail, and then they have to go get him because they want him for this problem with his daughter. Well, I say problem. Murder, disappearance, whatever it may be, because again, like I said, they still have not found a body.
Mm-hmm.
So in June of 2024, Hooper was in court to make his plea. Hooper did plead not guilty. And, even then, the Mobile County District Attorney stated that not having a body will make this case more difficult. However, we felt after some further investigation and a fresh look at the case that there was sufficient evidence to make this arrest, and we will move forward with this to a jury trial. He had also stated that the details probably wouldn't come out until that trial, which, spoiler alert,
yeah,
they literally, in my opinion, failed this girl and her family.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, yes, they want justice. Yes, pretty much everyone was in agreement that her father had something to do with it. But now, there's literally, like, there's no body. There's no evidence that she's even dead. Just that she's somewhere.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, on one hand, you have that. And then on the other hand, where is she? Did you sell her? Did you human traffic her? Did you send her somewhere? Did you murder her? Like, she has to be somewhere on this earth. Where is she?
Yeah.
And I feel that as long as she was in his, care at the time, then he is 100% responsible for where she's at. No matter if she was taken or given or sold or murdered or whatever.
Right. I mean, that he was responsible for her. She's a 14-year-old girl.
Exactly.
And you just act like that she left and just went home to her mom all by herself? She walked home? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
And then you pop up in a mental hospital days later? Like, no.
Yeah. And texting her mom about, did she watch this episode of whatever? I'm just like, are you kidding? You're kidding, right? So here we are in 2025.
Yeah.
And his actual trial began on Wednesday, June 4th. And then it ended on June 9th.
Mm.
Speedy trial.
Yeah, very speedy.
Prosecutors opened with a profound statement. Brittany has now been missing almost as long as she was alive. During the trial, they spoke about how Hooper had left town via bus under an alias, and a Greyhound bus executive would confirm that Hooper used the name Milton Henderson to purchase his bus ticket. Why you gotta use an alias if you didn't do anything?
If you have nothing to hide. Yeah.
So there's a point.
Mm-hmm.
They also spoke of a conversation Hooper had over the phone while on the bus. He was talking to his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
They don't state a name, but the cousin explained to Hooper how the police were asking if his daughter was okay, and Hooper's only reply was, "Okay, cool beans."
What?
No reply as to whether or not, like, didn't say, "Oh, well, she's not with me. She didn't go home."
Okay,
I don't know if she's okay. Okay, cool beans. Is it cool beans that the police are having to ask this question?
I mean, no. That's some holy free holies right there.
Right.
Not a cool bean.
Not a cool bean at all. So the defense counters with a claim that Brittany could still, in fact, be alive as her remains have never been found.
Mm-hmm.
Obvious route to go. They point out that after several searches in and around Hooper's home, no remains or murder weapons were ever found. However, I'm still sitting here going, he was found with rope, knives, and her iPod way back in the day.
Under a fictitious name.
After riding a bus under some alias.
Yeah.
And checking, like, he didn't just go to one place. He went to freaking Mississippi. Like, he was bouncing all over the place. Tennessee, then to Arkansas, where he finally checks himself into some mental place. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sketch.
Very.
So on the second day of the trial, an investigator who had taken pictures outside of the home testified that human hair and 4 bones were found near the home. The defense counters that they were never tested. So at the end of the trial, the prosecution would actually end up having to concede that the hairs were not Brittany's. They were actually hairs from a wig. And the bones were animal bones. Because I guess they did, like, hurry up and test it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
just to make sure, yeah.
Yeah. Because they hadn't done anything with it. So on Friday, June 6th, a woman testified that she had actually worked with Brittany Robinson around 2013 or 2014 at a strip club in Birmingham after she was reported missing. The woman was a former dancer and said that she reached out to police when she saw a photo of Brittany in a 2017 missing persons ad. The prosecution looked to discredit this witness, pointing out her past alcohol abuse and her mental illness.
So you're going to discredit her because of...
Well,
but I mean...
Let's back all the way up to 2013, 2014. So you're telling me this girl, she disappeared at 14 in 2012, is now 15 or 16 and is working in a strip club in Birmingham?
But also human trafficking and things like that. Yeah. So
regardless, that should have been something that was looked into no matter what.
Exactly. She's still a minor.
Yeah, absolutely. What the hell is she doing in a strip club? If it's true, you don't know. Did you not check?
No.
Like,
instead you're like, this woman has
she's
history.
An alcoholic.
Yeah.
She's mentally ill. She has no idea what she's talking about.
Yeah. I hate this.
Yeah, we're gonna believe somehow, some way that this, like her dad's not guilty. Because
it makes no sense.
That was my also got thought. Mental illness.
Yeah, that was my thought. Like he sold her for something or human trafficked her for something, and then she's caught up in all of that.
Right. And so now I'm like, is she still out there? Maybe not even knowing who she is anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, she could be drugged constantly. Like, there's so many scenarios. But also so many other strange things with the rope, the knife, the pretending like you don't realize she's not here. I mean, did you think it was another schizophrenic episode? I don't know. The jury was then set to deliberate the morning of Monday, June 9th. And the DA, Keith Blackwood, stated that this did happen more than a decade ago. It's a very difficult case. It came to be that over time, there was a feeling that not much was going to change in the investigation. So we just felt like it was enough to charge it and really to fight for this case. It's an important case. I'm like, how do you feel like it's an important case, but then go, you know what? We're probably not going to find anything else or figure out anything else. So let's just go on and shoot our shot. There are some cases that I've listened to, like on Crime Junkie and stuff, whatever, that I sit there and go, why didn't they prosecute?
Right.
Because they had more than these people. And I'm just going, what a dumb decision you just made.
I think that's just lazy.
Because I'm like, again, could we go back to, I mean, it's been several years, but what hasn't been several years in this case? Like, go back and actually check the stripper's
Yeah, check the strip club. Ask somebody else that has been working there. Go investigate and find out something.
Yeah, because what if there are other teenagers in that place?
Exactly.
Like, you can save someone's life at this point. You're obviously not saving hers, but you could save someone.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it happens all the time. So if this was that, there's somebody else there. Like,
But I just feel like
what happened?
Did they blow it off? Did they look at, like, I don't know, but they definitely should have if they didn't.
Like, every tip is a lead. Like, don't discredit just because somebody doesn't fit your, like, mold of a witness or something.
Yeah.
I think that's just stupid and lazy police work.
So ultimately, Hooper was found not guilty.
Ugh.
And I know that that's like something everybody's out there going, what a huge ass disappointment.
Right.
But of course, the DA, Blackwood, was also disappointed in the verdict. He said, we felt there was no other reasonable explanation other than that he had to have committed her murder.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that we felt like we needed to fight for, and that's what we did. I don't feel like the fight was very well organized.
No, not at all.
Obviously, because here we are with a not guilty verdict, which also means now, if you do happen upon a little something that does prove he actually did it, guess what?
Nope.
Can't do shit about it.
Damn thing. I'm sure he'll be in jail. Well, I'm just speculating, but I'm sure he'll be in jail shortly anyway for something else.
For something else, yeah.
But that's not the point.
It is not the point. Brittany's sister and aunt testified that Hooper would get agitated anytime he was asked about his daughter's disappearance. Which, again, like,
yeah.
Why is his only reaction irritation with people asking him about it?
Why is he not concerned about his daughter himself?
Right. Never do I read anything about how upset he was or anything else. Just
agitation.
Either irritated or zero emotion at all. Like nothing. Whole bunch of nothing. Davidson, the lead defense attorney, stated that the prosecution failed to offer any reason Hooper would have done such a thing other than his mental state. They didn't even try to establish a motive. So now it's just crappy because Hooper, who is now like 48 years old, no longer faces any criminal charge.
He's free and clear of that.
And like I said, now if you find something or someone comes forward and you actually investigate it, it doesn't matter.
No.
I mean, you could go on to prove it, but he doesn't get in trouble for it now.
Nope. He's done let off the hook for it. He's done.
Yeah.
He could admit it tomorrow
and nothing can be done. Yeah. He'll be telling his therapist in the next mental institution that he's in. Now that he can. Be like, I just really needed to get that off my chest. Because I got away. But, I mean, I feel like that's been the consensus of most people who live in that area.
Yeah.
And have followed the case and everything else, is that they were sure.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'm like you are, it doesn't really matter. He was responsible for her.
Yes.
In that time that she was visiting. And now she's
gone.
Mm-hmm. Whether that be, like you said, dead, freaking trafficked, whatever. It was his irresponsibility that led to whatever did happen.
Exactly.
So, and I feel for her mom because I know nobody wants to tell their kid no, especially when they're that excited to go. And I don't feel like she had any sense that he would let something terrible happen to her.
Right, or harm her in any way.
And so I'm sure she feels guilty in her own way too. But I mean, naturally, I would if it were me and one of mine. So it just sucks. Because now she's got like an entire family of people who spent all that time during that week in that courtroom, hoping that somehow they had something that was going to bring this to an end,
Yeah.
and now it's not. So
he just gets to walk free.
still out here
nothing.
going. If anybody has information on Brittany Robinson, make sure you contact the Mobile County Police.
Yep.
It's just so sad that you still got to.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. Okay, so the Mobile Police Department phone number is 251-208-1700.
Yes, so if you have anything, please let them know.
Yeah, any information.
If you've seen her somewhere.
If you think you've seen her somewhere. You know, anything at this point. If you can corroborate the story of the stripper.
Yeah. If
whatever.
You work there too and you've got something to say, like, let somebody know.
Because at least if she was, like, trafficked, could get to the bottom of the people who have her.
Yes.
If she wasn't, I'm sure regardless of whether or not he can be charged again, if he did do it, I'm sure the family would like to know. And if it wasn't him and it was someone else, the family would still like to know. Because this is like the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
To build up to something like this and to have like such a huge letdown with still no resolution.
Exactly. No body, no physical person.
Yeah. So where is she? That is the question.
That's the question, yep.
Still the question. So not quite the update I was hoping to give. But
but it's an update.
It is an
some
update.
Of it. And like you said, it wasn't really highly publicized, so
no.
It's an
sadly.
Update. Yeah.
Which I thought was just really strange because like her disappearance was everywhere when it happened. But
I guess the case outcome didn't have that razzle-dazzle that they wanted or something, so they just didn't report on it.
I guess not. It
was just stupid.
It kind of just fell flat. Like the whole trial itself.
It still deserves to be.
Was barely mentioned.
Yeah.
And again, like, you know, as I've said a million times, we all know it's probably because she wasn't white. Or, you know, because sadly.
Very sadly.
That is the way it is. You know, so I'm like, I'm sure that had something to do with it too. So. It's just really, really sad. But anyway. On to the next sad story.
Yes. Right? We'll try to give you a little, maybe a not so sad one. Maybe a happy one next time. I don't know. Can there be a happy true crime story?
Not a true crime one, but maybe we can get another goofy sausage fest or something going on. I don't know.
Get some giggles going
sausage Ghost.
Sausage fest. Oktoberfest.
There's a lot of sausages.
Yeah, sausages. I want the sausages. Which is, you know, creeping up on July. And as of July 5th, it's officially Halloween.
Yes.
So we're going to get some spooky stuff up in here.
Yeah.
Going into the spooky season.
Maybe we can do like a cryptid or something. Just something a little bit different. Because we've been a lot of, you know, murdered girls.
Yeah.
Lately.
And satanic panics.
Right.
Yeah, we'll definitely get something a little lighter for your old taste buds.
Yes. Speaking of buds, our theme music was made by Patty Salzetta.
The best bud.
The best bud ever. And as usual, I'm going to beg you to email us, steeped@holdmysweetie.com, or message us.
Yes.
Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube.
Yes, because our subscribers are growing, but they're slow.
And that you follow us on the TikTok.
Yep.
Because any video that we're going to put out is going to get put out there.
Yep.
In those two places. For sure. At least.
Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube for sure. Like, all three.
And we do use
and Instagram,
and I put stuff on there too, but it's like like I said before, most of our followers there are like Australian.
Yeah. Instagram's a tough cookie, though. You
Yeah.
have to really get
It's a tough one to crack.
a good niche and a good following.
We'll
to get
figure it
people.
out.
Yep.
But,
We're getting there.
share our pages with your friends. Not just the links to the episode.
Yeah.
Share the page.
Yeah.
Share our Facebook. Be like, hey, go follow these guys. Listen, they're really,
Awesome.
really cool.
Sometimes. We're cool all the time. Whether people like us or not, we're still cool.
Yes, we are. We get more awesome every day.
Yeah. And as always, Hold My Sweet Tea is a Drunken Bee production.
Bzz.
And you guys remember, stay safe out there. And just because we're dipping doesn't mean you can't keep sipping. Bye.